On December 6th of the year of our Lord, 1979, there came about a planetary alignment that had never been witnessed by men. Meteors were falling from the sky, oceans were rising, the end was nigh.
Just kidding. My name is Daryl Dean Blatchley. People know me as Uncle D. On December 6, 1979, I came into the world not really expecting anything. Little did I know, in 5 years, my true journey would begin.
Here she is. She just gave birth probably less than an hour before. I'm sure less than an hour before. And I walk in the room, and this is my bride, my wife, and she just had this little baby boy. And I take one look at my son, Daryl, and I think inside, oh God, what did I do wrong to deserve this? He was so ugly. He looked like he'd been beaten up and at war with somebody. And I have to tell her something good. And I'm thinking, God, what can I tell my wife to compliment her on her firstborn? So I tell her, without revealing, I'm trying not to reveal what I really feel inside. I said, he's all boy. They had to pull him out because he was so big.
I had such a hard time having him. And
many hours, and he was black and blue.
So his head was in a cone shape, just really pointed.
And he looked like black and blue eyes,
and he had a black eye
like
here,
Pacquiao,
and a cut here.
That was his introduction to our life.
Yeah, it didn't start off very well for me.
He always had snakes in aquariums, or turtles, or guinea pigs, or hamsters, or fish, or something.
So he got this room that you could just about reach from side to side, and any direction you could almost reach the walls on each side. So it was very small. And he had his aquarium in there, and he had his bed in there, and between the aquarium and the bed.
But he built his bed up high.
Wait. He couldn't walk past his bed hardly to get past the snake that was in the aquarium. So he came to me and said, Dad, do you mind if I build my bed up so that I can, put the snake underneath and that kind of stuff? Oh, sure, because he was good with his hands. And so he built his bed up about 6 feet, as tall as I am, so he could walk under it and stuff. So he put his bed underneath his snake underneath of it. And it was that night or the next night that he woke up during the night. It was dark in there, and he woke up from a dream. And in his dream, he thought there was a snake wrapped around his arm. So he woke up all of a sudden, and he's feeling his arm, and it's a real snake, and he just freaks out, and he flips out of bed, forgetting that he's 6 feet up in the air. And as he's coming down to the ground, he realizes that's his baby snake, and both of them survive.
The house smelled so bad. And I said, Dee Dee, what are you doing? Because I knew it had to be him. He says, Mom, I didn't use your pots and pans, but I'm cooking a bat on the stove, and if I can get the skin off it, all the meat off, then I can have the skeleton. And I said, okay. So he had a can on the stove and a wire on it so he could take it off, and he was cooking that bat. Well, the house smelled so bad, so I made him take it outside. He put it on the fence, and then the ants finished all the meat off of it, and so he had his skeleton.
This was my first attempt at becoming who I was known for today. At the time, I was only 10 years old.
We went to Thailand when he was 5, so he grew up most there. So he had that viper, the head here, and the rest when it was alive. And he said, Mom, please don't be mad at me. He was riding his bike. Please, Mom, don't be mad at me. And I said, why did you pick that up in the first place? He said, Mom, there was a lady walking and she had a baby. And this snake came out of the bushes and started going up her leg. And she yelled for me, Chui doi. And he asked her, she yelled, please help me. And he said, is it poisonous? And she said, very. So he said, Mom, I just prayed. I asked God to help me. I put a plastic bag on one hand. I grabbed the tail of that snake, and then I got the head. He said, and now I don't know how to put it down. So,
What did you tell him?
So I told him, go talk to your dad.
I'm reading a
So
book.
what they did was
Wait
they
a minute.
smashed it between two boards. And that night at the dinner table, well, they threw it away. That night at the dinner table, Dee Dee said to me, Mom, I skinned that snake out. Would you like to see it? I did a good job. And I said, you what? And I had looked at the snake in the trash and I thought, man, it looks like it's been skinned. That's what why he told me, was because I said at the dinner table, that snake, I looked at it to see the shape of the head and it looks like it's been skinned. And he said, Mom, I did skin it out. Do you want to see it? So I went out to the garage and he had it all pegged out. He did a good job.
Coming up next on Detour. At the age of 5, we moved to Thailand. During those years, my fascination with wildlife and the ecosystem grew. When I was 15, I met the woman with whom I knew I would spend the rest of my life with.
I'm a gentleman. I need to look great all the time. If there's one place I would go to look and feel great, it would be the Gentleman's Lounge. The leather seats are perfectly comfortable. The interior is top-notch. The service? Superb. It's so relaxing that I would want to lounge the whole day. So whether I go there for a shave or a haircut, I know I'm always in good hands. Gentlemen know where to get the best pampering. The Gentleman's Lounge, haircuts and shaves, Loyola Street, Barrio Obrero, Davao City.
There is a saying, when times are good, it pays to advertise. But when times are bad, you need to advertise. Become our newest investor by advertising with us on State of Mind TV. Let's talk about how we can make things happen for you. For more info and inquiries, call us at 224-2287 or email us at stateofmindproductionstv@gmail.com. You may also send us a message through our social media accounts or visit us at our convenient location, A7 Plaza de Luisa Building, Lamon Magsaysay Avenue, Davao City.
Previously on Detour. My name is Geraldine Blatchley. People know me as Uncle D.
We always had snakes in aquariums, or turtles, or guinea pigs, or hamsters, or fish, or something.
At the age of 5, we moved to Thailand and lived there till I was 15 years old. During those years, my fascination with wildlife and the ecosystem grew. When I was 12 years old, my dad took me on an elephant trek up in northern Thailand. It was a 3-day trek through the jungle. During one of the nights, a tiger walked through our camp. I remember its eyes looking straight at us as it walked across from the campfire at us. It's something I'll never forget. And yet it's something my kids, unfortunately, will never be able to experience. When I was 15, I met the woman with whom I knew I would spend the rest of my life with.
I used to sing at a church. At that time, I was 16 years old. I sang with my sister. I never expected to have a boyfriend because I wanted to be a single forever. So, after church na, naningkalit naman siya duol sa kuha. Ano siya, hi, what's your name? Ano ko, halak ka, kulba na ko, nasblid ko. Kulba kay, syempre, 16 years old. Kinsa may English up to kay, di ba? We're scared to speak English kay mga prejudice. Kay kung kahit sa katanan, baka nang basing mamali atong grammar, gani. So, nakuan lang ko ato. Ano ko nga? My name is Mary. Ano ko, patik-atik pa jud ko. Pa-uwi ko no ba? Anak siya sa kuha, will you be here tonight? Ano, lain man yung Amerikanuhan niyo, kuan man ka, pushy man kayo. So, wala lang ko. Pagka night time na, tingala ko balik naman sa ding Amerikano. Seryoso day siya. Nag-prepare na daw siya sa mga lingkuranan. Upat ka buok, akong mama, akong manghod. Nga, ako, katong, ambot gin sa tuyang kaupat niya. Pero at that time, naapoy mga girls sa other side niya. So, kung may girls din, naapoy girls din, na siya diri. Prinsipe kayo siya. Nga, katong mga tambourine dancers dito. Ang dugay na nakaila sa iya, ha. Sige siya, og kanang istorya sa kuha. Katong mga girls pa dito, sige po sila, og sa ko nga. Sige sila tanaw-tanaw ko. Ano sige mas tanaw sa kuha? Actually, crush na dahil nila. Kato si Darrell. At that time, wala lang dyan ko kahibalo. Then, one of the tambourine dancers, after, nakahumanamig kanta, siya nga, nakagusto sa imuha to ba? Nagi siya ihatag sa mga ayaw dawata, ha? Siya sa kuha. Ano man? Kay basta dawato na nimo ka. Inuna na silang uyab na mo. Kulbaan ko. He brought me a flower. Nga, katong bulak, gikan pa yun siya. It came from sa stage. Bata yun kaayo siya. Nanguha siya bulak para ihatag sa ako. Just because you give me a flower doesn't mean that you're my boyfriend because I don't even know you. So, siya sa ko, where do you live? Grabe, astiga po mga yung address. Wala lang ko ito. So, ko sa iyahan na, well, you have to find out. I don't give out my address. Seryoso, jud kayo siya. So, what he did, he followed our jeepney. The next Sunday, na human natin church na mo, maulang gihapon niyang ginabuhat. He keeps giving me flowers and I keep telling him, you're not my boyfriend. Then, he went to our house. And so, that's how it started na nag-ano na siya. So, I told him, I cannot be your girlfriend because you don't speak our language. I speak your language, but it's not fair that you don't speak mine. So, you have to learn mine. Ako saya, okay, you need to learn my language. Nawala siya. Happy ko kay nawala siya. Kung saan man ako ni pagkuhanin ko, nang wala lang ko, mga pila ka months man yata. 1 month? Basta mga 3 weeks, mga 1 month, 1 month, 2 months. Basta, nikalitra man na siya sulpot. Na siya, ayo. Naigwapa babae din na, pero tinangkol ba? I was like, ay ko naman sa naman nanadyo ko yung boyfriend dili pa ko ready. At that time, he was 15. 16 ko. Because he told his mom, that's gonna be my wife. She will be my wife. Siya. Wala ko kaila sa iya. And then, muna to among story na persistent yung kay siya na tao.
We couldn't conceive until we were 10 and a half years into our marriage. We consider it a miracle that we have 2 wonderful children, and every day I wake up and do this so that my children, this generation, and the next can experience the beauty of what we have.
He was the hardest to raise. He would do things like put the others in a suitcase and push them down the stairs and, things like that. And
like his first efforts at walking and jumping and climbing, I would normally put him on, we have very steep stairs in our house, and I'd set him up about halfway up and I'd say, jump, and he'd jump to me. So the next thing I know, I'm standing at the top stairs, and he's on halfway down, he looks upstairs at me, he says, catch me, and he jumps. I always had to learn the hard way.
Excellent father, because they could not have children until they'd been married 10 years. So they really wanted their children.
He's like an Iron Man. He is a Superman, but he's also goofy. I would say he is an Iron Man kay man siya na siya kana ganing strictness, di ba? Magpakakuan man si Iron Man. Then, I would say, Superman, he can do almost everything. Almost everything. For me. For our kids. And then, I would say, Goofy, Kay, grabe ko kagara. Grabe, as in, grabe jud siya kagara. Funny. Na sometimes when he's too funny that it's so annoying.
Coming up next on Detour.
He loved going to the CR, and he'd pile stacks of National Geographics.
Or
And he has a-
encyclopedias.
Sir Darrell, isa siya sa mga taon na ginahangaan ako.
Previously on Detour. At the age of 5, we moved to Thailand. During those years, my fascination with wildlife and the ecosystem grew. When I was 15, I met the woman with whom I knew I would spend the rest of my life with. I have always been fascinated with wildlife. When I was 16, I became a tour guide at a local eco park here in Davao City.
He loved going to the CR, and he'd pile stacks of National Geographics.
Or
And he has a-
encyclopedias.
Pretty close
I'd
to a
get mad at him.
photographic memory. He can remember details and stuff about them. Phenomenal memory when
I can
it comes
almost
to
tell you
animals.
what page it is on
Yeah.
that you need to know what something is on. So I'd get mad at him for taking encyclopedias into the bathroom but he would just sit in there and read and read. And in the beginning, we paid them for reading. But after they got about 10, we said, no more paying you for
They
reading.
enjoyed it. They just kept on reading.
You think of me as the bone collector, the guy that goes and gets the dead whales that washed up on the beaches, chop it up, oh wow, it's a luxurious lifestyle. 3 weeks dead, 48 tons, does not smell good. So nothing. Putting the bones back together, they're like, well, why do you put the bones back together? Why bones? Why do you do what you do? If you've never seen a whale, other than in your school books, and it's a picture this big, how will you imagine that the ribs are that big? You would never realize that something that big can die from a plastic garbage bag. So the cleanup that we did throughout Davao City today was saving how many whales and dolphins. So that's the one side that people see me as. Starting from a kid, I enjoyed wildlife. This one, I was probably about 10 years old at a fish port in Thailand, to fast forward 2012, doing education in the fish ports here in Davao, showing the age of the fish, how long it lives, and how we're losing it, to even something this is not even full grown.
Hello, I am Princess. Si Sir Darrell, isa siya sa mga taong ginahangaan ako. Kaya dagan siya ginashare sa mga learnings about sa mga animals. Then, actually, isa po siya sa tao nga akong gina-admire. Kay siya, even though nga foreigner siya, gina-promote niya ang mga awareness para mag-stop throwing garbage, diba?
Hi, hello, my name is Hazel Joy M. Loyola. Uncle D is very strict. Very strict si Uncle D, and then, very strict, and then, very strict siya panagsa, and then, okay din po, okay siya nga boss kay, daghanwig natudan po siya ha, unya, very hands-on siya nga pagka-boss, dili sa pareha sa uban nga boss nga, supervisor, sa mga magsige supervise lang, then siya kay, kung lihok po siya, mutabang po siya, very hardworking siya nga pagka-boss.
My name is Georgie B. Baral. Si Uncle D kay ganahan ko siya hakaibutan siya tapos gitagaan ko niya opportunity nga magtrabaho diri kay nag-eskwela pa man ko bisag 3 hours na ko magtrabaho diri kay mag-eskwela pa man ko 8 to 2 tapos pag maghapon mato na ko diri tapos di siya masuko.
Hi, hello, my name is Dora Viray. He's a kind of boss that is very smart, hands-on of everything. Yes, quite strict, but he wants you to learn. Sir Darrell also, I noticed him that he does not treat you as a worker, but he treats you as a family. And it's been a challenging and it's a very big opportunity to be in this field of industry of work. I mean, it's a different way than normal worker works in industry like hotels, restaurants, and etc. But being in a museum with dead animals, like who cares about this? But this is a very challenging and this is very educational. Means it improves your what do you call this? Your confidence and how you talk to people, and it's also a way to give you patience also. So I bet Sir Darrell is one of the best. And a very clever man. I'm very, very proud of him.
In 2001, my wife and I moved to America. We went to college, worked, and traveled a lot. A whole lot. By 2009, I was learning to fly helicopters. It was that same year God brought my wife and I back to Davao City. We started working with my parents' ministry. It was also when we started to respond to whale strandings here in the Davao Gulf. In 2012, we opened the Bone Collector Museum.